Hello guys, how you doing again? This is Bernie here for REDMIGHT TV. As you can see, we've got the whole squad here today, so we'll go left to right.
I'm Daniel Peeney.
I'm Stevie Whiteside.
Nev Scott.
And you all know me, so right. So let's go straight into it, guys. What do you think? We've got the final coming up this week. So we talk about the players, what they've done this season, and where do you think they're going to take us into the final? So what do you reckon, Steve?
So, a little bit of a player review for Premier League. I always don't like to do these, talk about it, I always think the award ceremonies come too early for me because the season's not over and people have got performances to put in.
Yeah.
But obviously the Premier League's over, so yeah, if we want to start with Alisson Becker, our number one, obviously, I think his number's 13, isn't it?
He's 13 now.
He's 13 out of 10, so he helped revolutionise this back four, didn't he? He has been so solid. I've not worried at all, except for that first time he made that little Tad takes one, a bit clever flick, and he said straight away after, didn't he? He said, "I've learned my lessons, won't do it again."
Yeah,
I think he did one more.
Yeah, no, he did.
One more, yeah.
He flicked it over the lad's head. But yeah, it gives you the confidence, doesn't he? And you know, in seasons gone by, you would be panicking as a fan. You would panic, you know, when Simon Mignolet had the ball at his feet, or you know, you would be concerned about, oh, we're going to concede a goal from here, and that must also go through to the players. And
come on, as you said,
it's putting years on you at home. So you know what, at the back four, you're spot on it. Yeah, unsettles everything, doesn't it?
Yeah,
unsettles it. But he's been fantastic, and he's a wall, isn't he?
Well, if you come in with the stats of him, he's got a 67.6% save ratio. Okay, he's faced. He just brings that calm and influence to the team, as you just mentioned, Daniel. It goes through the backbone of the team. You've got yourself, you've got Virgil, it just melds into it. He's just absolutely. And to me, as an ex-keeper, he's what you want. He is just calmness personified.
Everything, hasn't he?
He's got his passing ability to pick a player out is unbelievable.
What keepers usually don't have.
Yes, exactly.
He has that X factor of that.
Yeah, I mean, his clearances and passing out to players is that's up in like the 80s as well, isn't it? He's spot on when he's throwing the ball out. He's literally dropping it at their feet.
Yeah, he's Xabi Alonso in goal.
He is. Yeah, you know, his success rate is right up in the 80% mark.
Yeah.
So,
I think the big thing for me, I mean, if you look at the first off, the thing that's sort of uncountable, it's the crucial saves. You think back to Napoli, that chance was point blank.
Yes.
We're out of the Champions League. He saved that. If he didn't save that, you know.
The same with Barcelona game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when he's needed, isn't it? It's like he can do nothing for him a lot of time, and then he's there. Yeah. So move on to the next player.
Yeah, let's go into the defence now. Okay, so we've got a number one goalkeeper who just sets the back four up superbly. Do you want to give us a talk about
Van Dijk?
Go ahead, lads.
Van Dijk.
Hey, that's my fella you're talking about.
That's my boyfriend.
Solid, isn't he? It's exactly the same as the confidence we've got in the keeper is the same across the back line as a direct result of Van Dijk. The strength he's got as a leader, nobody's dribbled past him this season.
The best players in the world.
One of the best players currently in the world. And what was it? 67,000 was it? What was the cost of him? 75, wasn't it? Sorry, 75,000 million. Sorry, well spent. Yeah. Well spent.
That's the first two we've talked
about. That was a premium over the whole
Spain.
thing that went on, wasn't it, with the Southampton
I think for me with Van Dijk is like he's a player. When you see his name on the team sheet, you have that for the first time for me in a long time. You think we're going to win this game.
Yeah,
we are gonna be in with a chance with winning this game. That's 100%.
So he's the rock in the middle? Who's his partner? So leading up to the final, the way Matip's
been fantastic. Yeah. I said the other day, didn't I? He's been that player that before a couple of years when he came in on the free transfer, he was actually brilliant when he first come to Liverpool, and we were like, wow, look at this player. I remember people saying he was the Rolls Royce, and then he went downhill for a little bit, but he's come back and he's been as good as Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Literally the bits Van Dijk isn't doing, he was doing all the rest. And before that, Joe Gomez was fitting that bill perfect, and he was so unlucky, but we've been lucky that we've got that standard back for a centre back.
But Daniel, don't you reckon he brings everybody into it?
I think he does. But and the thing with everyone, with the exception of Van Dijk and the centre back position, they all have been rather injury prone, and it's been interesting to watch Joel Matip in the first time in his Liverpool career actually put consecutive games back to back and being fit. And it's like, well, this is what I can do with a bit of rhythm. And we've seen the real Joel Matip in that period of time, and it's funny because it's pretty much kept Dejan Lovren out the team, and obviously Joe Gomez hasn't been thrown straight back in yet, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens this summer.
And whereas he got injuries, Lovren always seems to have weird ones, like viruses and stuff. So it's mad. The odd time he has come in, Lovren now again, he's done a job, and I think that Alisson and Van Dijk have gave them that confidence to say, don't panic, be the player you are. And I think it's give them confidence back, and it was a weight off their shoulders, and it's enabled them to be players.
Spot on, So we'll move on to the full-backs, boys, You know, take your pick, Daniel. Do you want to start with Robbo or Trent?
Oh, I'll start with Robbo because, I love that man. We're talking about two of the most consistent fullbacks in the league. We're talking about the two highest singular assisters in the league, having a running competition who can finish higher up on the charts, and obviously Trent pipped it on the last day of the season, which was fantastic. What can you say about him? He's consistent, he's tenacious, he will fight for the team in every way that you want. You know, when you think back to the performance, I believe it was last year when it went viral. He was chasing from left back position
all over the pitch, wasn't he?
All over.
And obviously drew a foul at the end. You know, and that was just unbelievable.
I just started daydreaming, Andy, about when you said that. I feel I'm sitting on Virgil now, and I'm Klopp, but he personifies everything that the cop love, doesn't he?
He's one of us. He's a workaholic. He's doesn't pull up in a Lamborghini or nothing like that. He's one of the boys. He's down at the food banks helping out with all that type of stuff. He does tons of stuff for charity off the pitch. He's just a solid. He's a solid Liverpool player.
He's a top lad, and it's nice to see that Scottish connection. Obviously, that's something that we've had in all of the previous winning teams. So,
and from the start, mate, we had 10 Scotsmen when we started the Liverpool team. When the first ever team was 10 Scotsmen, so it fits right in the bill, doesn't it? And then obviously the heritage, we go through Kenny Dalglish, Souness, Hansen, you know, and Shankly. You know, it's these guys are almost made for Liverpool, Andy. Make some up there and send them down to us, and we love it.
Yes. And Robbo's a humble lad as well, but very much like Trent actually. You know, the little story in the early days when I was a little kid who was absolutely loving him, like, you know, and he says, oh, you know, nobody loves a left back, and he said, well, we do actually. We love a left back, don't we?
And kids want to be left backs.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So should we move on to Trent? Do you want to talk about Trent, Stevie?
Yeah, Trent is living the dream, isn't he? Scouser, you know, obviously we're a worldwide fan base and I appreciate that, but you know, when you're born in Liverpool, when your first thing, you grow up and you're indoctrinated into it, and that is your dream, and he's living the dream. And I said the other day, yesterday was at the anniversary of Istanbul, Stevie Gerrard and Jamie Carragher lived that dream for us, and you know, Phil Thompson has in the past,
Tommy Smith,
and Fairclough, and there's a few of them, but you know, he's that little Scouse happy that we need, and we relate to it, and and the quality he is. I mean, he got exposed a few times, hasn't he, in the past, and you know, he's just learning.
He's only going to get better.
He isn't a right back. You know, you become a right back when you Klopp threw him on the field. He was a midfielder in the youth team coming through, and he said, right, I want you on the pitch for your delivery and for your attack and prowess, and the rest of the lads are going to help you out. But some of the things he's done as a defender have been phenomenal. You know, he has made great tackles, but it's, as I say, up the pitch and his free kicks and his delivery, he's got the Beckham foot, hasn't he? He's got, you know, it's better than that. And
what's frightening about Trent? What's frightening about Trent? The lad's 20 years old and he's just about to start.
It's not even there yet.
Consecutive Champions League final.
It's crazy.
At 20 years old. I think there's a fella called Paolo Maldini who did something similar. The only person who's ever done something similar.
He's our Mike Tyson in a way, isn't he? So young to be achieving such a high standard. You know, and
at 20 years.
At 20 years of age, he's living the dream. All of us would kill to be him doing that.
So I love seeing that. I love seeing that we've got a local lad, and that's great. And to have that as well as top to bottom, when the new owners came in, FSG, and they put a Scouser at the top of the club, didn't he, as the CEO. Peter Moore, you know, he was successful in America with was it EA Sports or Sega?
EA Sports, and
then he got Tony Barrett in as fan liaison, and he put and he put Scousers in certain positions because they understand the culture and the heartbeat, and then we have one on the pitch.
That's what we want.
And you know, we want more lads to come through, but like, you know, so it's great. So we've got everything we need that make us happy, and Trent does give us that, and yeah, he's a phenomenal lad, and as you say, Dan, his ceiling is, we don't know, it's going to be high.
Well, we'll dive right into the midfield with the next one now, so we'll go with the skipper. I'll take over on that one with Jordan Henderson. I think he's a man reinvented. He's been brought into the club as a box-to-box player when Dagley's first brought him in, and he's been changed by different managers, and now Klopp's give him a new lease of life, and he's just, with him getting forward and breaking forward, you can see the passion in him, what he wants to do, and for this season, I just hope he's the guy who lifts that six European Cup for us. But you know, what do you think, boys? What do you think?
Well, to be honest, next season I'm actually looking forward to more goals from him.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, with him getting forward the way he is at the moment and literally splitting defences apart, which they weren't expecting in the past, because he's always played further back, you know, protecting that middle rank. Yeah. But now Klopp's given him that freedom of movement, as you say, Ben, and he's getting in there, he's picking balls up where he wasn't before. Yeah. And
he's got on things, hasn't he?
Truly believe we're going to see more goals out of him next season, and I'm looking forward to it.
And what I'm excited is Fabinho had to bed in, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's been the lighthouse.
Once he bedded in, and you heard apparently, you know, Henderson went to Klopp. He's literally said he's better than me in that position. Put me forward.
Yeah.
Let me go, and you know, and Klopp's let him, and he's done it. And you know, people are surprised, but he was always that player. But he had such a hard job. The way he does the unseen work, he's cutting off. He chases his stats of chasing down players are well higher than anyone else.
I think that's the thing you see when you go to a match that you don't see on the telly.
Yeah.
We've got we've got this amazing television now with, you know, 67 different camera angles, you know, everything can be repeated from every angle and all that, and that's from the television point of view. But when you're at the match, you're actually seeing the stuff. You know, the last match I went to, I was watching Van Dijk all game. Yeah. And the stuff that he's doing off the ball, so, you know, not going back to Van Dijk, but it's the same with Endo. The stuff you're seeing them doing off the ball, which you don't actually see on the telly so much, you know, it's incredible.
Well, when you're on a pitch and if you play with good players or whatever, you see that they see things that you can't see. People can see these things from the aerial view, but to see it on the pitch and the position you're at, to do what he does, it's very high level. To know what's going on at that angle. Okay, that's the only angle you can play at. Yeah. But as you say, when you're there, you see him covering everything, and you don't see on the telly because it moves around. It's weird. You don't see how fast they are on the telly. In real life, you're like, wow. Like,
and that's it with Trent. When you're sitting down there at the sideline, and he is bombing past. Yeah. He is fast.
Well, Daniel, let's move on to Fabinho. Bring him into it.
Yeah, the mountain and the sea. Fabinho obviously has been crucial in terms of, I think, the way we want to play, and we'll probably see this more in the next season. He's the man who is the riot gear. He's performing the role of giving that additional shield and winning the ball in crucial areas against players who, you know, are tasked to basically attack us, and then releasing the attackers quickly. The transition from defence to attack is what Fabinho brings with his range of passing, with his ability to win the ball from pretty much anywhere and everywhere on the pitch, his ability to set the tempo.
And he's got the needle, hasn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he like gets stuck and he upset a bit, you know. That's what we needed. We needed a few, you know, we saw what happened last year in the final against Madrid. We didn't have that.
No. We didn't have someone to give it back.
The die hearts, they call him that. Fabinho can come in and he does a bit.
Doesn't mind copping a card, does he?
Well, classic example of that, and the smartness and intelligence of him. He gets carded in the first 10 minutes of the game against Barcelona 4-0.
I was panicking when that happened,
Carded in the first minute and then proceeds to boss the game for 80 minutes and doesn't get booked again. I mean, against Barcelona.
It's quality.
Unbelievable.
That's a sign.
So we move on to the other two guys. We've got Gini Wijnaldum and we've got James Milner. So where are we going to fit them all into the team?
Well, we don't, and that's why we need the squad. And Gini Wijnaldum, wow, Nev, you know, you want to speak about him?
Gini is another one of those players that you know you can trust. You know he's going to get stuck in. Again, he's not afraid of getting stuck in. He'll have a go. He's fast. He'll open up the defences.
And he can contribute with a goal.
And he can put a goal in or two.
And what we've seen, he used to be called a homer, as in like he'd only score goals at home, which was, you know, pretty much true. But you'd see that almost with the Hendo thing, that he was restricted in what he didn't. He has to keep that role, otherwise the team falls apart. But now he's been allowed to go forward, and he's been able to see what's going on. And yeah, I think he's a fantastic player. He's so much skill. You don't always see it all the time because he's asked to do certain jobs when he's let off the leash. I mean, he can keep the ball off you in the phone box. I've said that before.
Literally never loses the ball.
And he can finish. So I absolutely love the man.
I love the man myself. And then James Milner now, because you know you had your chance in counter with him when you were over there in your last.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because he was after your autograph on that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
So
you, Stevie.
We need to like get moving on this now. So we've got Milner, we've got Naby.
Milner's the workhorse and the experience. He is the most experienced player in the team, and he has helped us so much. And he's filled in any roles he's been asked to do, and he's done a top job. And he's a world class player in the fact that he will always be in someone's team. If he was in the top Man United team or top Man City team, top 8, he'd always sees that kind of player that you need.
Yeah. I think for Millie, and this is the thing, he's such a fantastic player and such a versatile player, but he's probably the first player I want coming off the bench in Madrid.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about obviously a team, but also the team that's going to go towards the final, I'd be having Millie coming off the bench because if someone gets injured, if the game's not going away, or if the game is going our way, get some Carned on there. And penalties, more important, bloody penalties.
With Keita out of the conversation for starting in the final, just because of what, you know, it took an knock, he went off the scene, but you know, he's back to fitness now. I don't think he'd be starting, but we'll talk about that. But I did see Keita, you know, he come with the heaviest load, and it took the longest time to get into it, and he started to come, and then he actually, you know, his stats and that were actually really good. And he was unlucky that time, and he should have had a penalty. You know, that would have changed. Who was it against that when he burst through? And that would have changed. You know, we got a penalty that game.
Spurs.
Was it? Was it a draw?
No, we beat Spurs 2-1, but he got fouled. He got hacked down in the air.
I'm sure
it's happened a couple of times.
Was it not Leicester?
No, it has happened a couple of times. We may well have against Leicester, but I remember the
I expect big things off next season.
We'll dive into the forwards, right? So we've got Neville, who's not our own Stato, and he's got some stuff on Mr. Dazzler, Bobby Firmino.
I've written a few things down on a bit of paper because I'm not a Stato, so I will read it off it. But just a couple of things I wrote down today about our 27-year-old 5'11" Brazilian forward. Coming to us on July the 4th, 2015 for £29 million from Hoffenheim. In the time he's been with us, he's scored 48 goals for us. He's married to a lovely lady called Larissa Pereira. I hope I've said that right. Who's a model, and he's got 2 lovely daughters. Okay, his first goal for us was, ironically enough, against City.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
And it was on November 2015, and it was a 4-1 win for us away. So excellent, nice memory for him. Take out City in a 4-1 win.
And he's got the best teeth in the whole.
He has. I've got stuff for that. He was our top scorer in 2016 with 10 goals. Following up the next season with 12 goals. Started as our number 11, but of course he gave that to Salah when he came. So he's now our number 9. Where are we? 2018 season in April, he's just signed another 5-year contract with us on £100,000 a week. Bless him.
When you give someone a job, they do it thoroughly, don't
they? I've got it all here.
I want to talk about Bobby, you know.
Did you? His first hat-trick. Anyone got that one? His first hat-trick, yeah. His first hat-trick for us was December 29th, 2018 in a 5-1 win against
City.
Arsenal.
I think there's a little
bit more. All right. He also scored, and this is something special, this is, in the Premier League era, he scored Liverpool's 1000th goal on January the 19th, 2019. Spectacular. That also, by the way, was at Anfield, and it was a 4-3 win against Palace. Fantastic. Now then, there's a fella out there called Robbie Hughes, very wealthy, very popular dentist, and he's done the teeth of most of Liverpool's football team. And the way he tells it is, there are 4 shades in the teeth grade that he works with these players, and they are 4, 3, 2 and 1. Number 1 being the whitest shade. When he asked Bobby, what shade would you like your teeth? Bobby said, I want it whiter than number 1. So Bobby has actually got, and this is the name of it from the dentist, the Maximo. It's a 1+ on the white scale. The dentist is an LFC fan.
Yeah.
And the other players that he's done are Lucas, Lever, Moreno, Klopp, Coutinho, Endo and Mane. Very rich, very wealthy fella.
I think we need to move on to another striker now, boys, don't we?
I actually had my Liverpool surgeon did my shoulder, who did my mum's Sosco.
There you go.
So
did he do his eyes as well?
So we've got to wrap this up, guys. We've got to keep on. We'll try and get these last couple in dead quickly. Talk about Mo. What do you want to say about him, Steve?
Never heard of him.
Who was he?
Mo Salah. I mean,
some fella with a
one season wonder, wasn't he?
Yeah, one season wonder.
Did it again, golden boot again. Okay, he shared it, but that was brilliant to share. Because, yeah, with Sadio Mane and Aubameyang snuck in, didn't he? But, I mean, but Mo's been more complete this season as a player. You know, his involvement in it and his work rate. I mean, last season he was breaking records, scoring goals left, right and centre, but this season he's actually been more of a footballer for me, and he needs that in his game because he is headed, isn't he? He's looking to be the number 1 spot, isn't he? Yeah. And he keeps on that progression. No.
I think he's actually done far better than a lot of people give him credit for, because for most of the season people know who he is and know that he scored 44 goals last year, so they're looking at it and saying, alright, yeah, cool, I'm going to put you up two or three plays against you. So to still retain the figures he's retained with that kind of an extra intense scrutiny is just absolutely unbelievable. I'm delighted he's going to be.
Well, he's been neck to neck with Mane for the goals, hasn't he? So we'll dive on
terrible, narrative around him on social media that he's a diver and all. I just think I've never seen a bloke stay up so much. He just can't praise him enough. He's just fantastic, and I love that we've got him.
We want to mention Mane. He's took him to the edge for the golden boot as well. He's another player who's come out of his skin. I haven't seen anyone had as many goals as him this year. He's changed. I never had him as a header.
You don't expect it. And
for a little fella, getting up and scoring headers, unbelievable.
Well. He'll get stuck in. He'll get stuck in. He'll have a go.
He's elevated himself to a world-class player this year.
Absolutely.
In my view, I believe he's.
But we can't let this one finish without mentioning there's a special talent there that we're looking at for next season, and you never know, he might get a game.
Not Origi.
Big divvy.
Daniel's
been great.
Daniel's been doing a bit of work on. Yeah, true. But Daniel's been doing a bit of work on.
So we couldn't be talking about Ryan Brewster. And Ryan, there's obviously going to be a lot of clamour for a player to be brought in over the summer in the striking positions, and I think a few people are going to be disappointed because it's probably not going to happen. The player that's going to come in is going to be Ryan Brewster. All players, all the manager, the assistant manager have all talked about this lad and said he's absolutely mustard. I don't think we know. He's been unfortunate because he obviously had that injury which kept him off in the but his record, in the reserve team the year before, he obviously scored 7 goals in 11 games, got 7 assists. And he also basically, small matter of winning the World Cup with England
he's won the World Cup. Yeah.
So and top scorer in the tournament too. I mean, he's under the radar at the moment, but we could have another Michael Owen on our hands here. And that's exciting.
And Klopp does have him with the first team all the time, so he's not a stranger in the dressing room. He's not coming in and going, he's already mates, he
knows them all, him and the Ox. There's tons we haven't even mentioned. We haven't mentioned the Ox, we haven't mentioned Shaqiri, we haven't
I think you might see Ox now in the final, which we'll talk about that later, but we've got more subs. We've got more on bench. For what we want to talk about, you actually get 4 now.
Yeah, for the final. It's 3. It's 12. It's 12 on the bench. There's 3
and 4 subs.
Are you sure? I'll double check that.
Yeah,
we'll wrap that up here anyway, guys, and we're going to come back to you very soon.
So we didn't say who should play this season.
But we were
discarding
this game, one, wasn't it?
No, this is part of the review.
Well, okay, player of the season for me. You're going to laugh at me, but I think that the one who's held us together, and not a unsung hero, but Alisson, because he's made the saves when he's needed to make them. Yeah, you've got to do the guys scoring the goals, but what's been our problem the last few years has been the keeper. So he's my vote.
No bad shout.
Robbo.
Yeah.
Robbo for me.
Love a left back.
Solid, and his whole story.
No.
You know, rags to riches story for me. You know, comes from Hull. No disrespect to Hull, but you know, he comes from Hull to a place like Liverpool, and he's absolutely lit up the Premier League and Scotland. By the way,
yeah, he's
captain of Scotland. I love the whole story around him, and the hairs on my arms are standing up now just talking about it.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure to watch.
My player of the season has to be Big Divvy. No, I'm joking, Virgil. It's got to be Virgil, and I think we've waxed a little whole about Virgil, enough is said, but you just feel like we're going to win when he's on the field. I just feel totally confident in that respect. Steve?
So it is really hard, isn't it? Because it's literally every single player in every position. No, it's the whole team, and they've all contributed so much. And I'm really torn. I can narrow it down to
pick one. Pick one.
Robbo, Van Dijk, and Mane.
That's just after team.
So I have to say Mane if you're saying Van Dijk. But it's Van Dijk.
So we can't pick, and let's hope on Saturday night, Sunday morning, Tottenham can't pick either.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to round that up there, guys. This has been our longest show so far. Hope we haven't bored you. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back for more. We'll talk to you next about the Champions League final. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
See you later.